Okay, so part 2 of our garden tour is going to be the cut flower bed and greenhouse, and the seedlings I think we'll go over. Part 1 was the corn garden and the garlic and sunflowers and the perennial bed with the asparagus. It is early June. It's the end of the first week of June, and we don't have much blooms coming, and this is where I'm really feeling the delays in planting out things like my stock for this annual garden here. There are a couple cold hardy flowers that I could have been enjoying at the moment that I don't have ready. So I'm going to go through each one of these beds and talk about what I have and what I think I have. There's a couple that I think I probably got confused or mislabeled when I put them in. Over here I did put on the corner one of the giant marigolds. I think that's a cocoa color. And then we have the status. We've got a pale blue, a seeker blue, or pastel blue. I've got a couple others, including apricot, as well as maybe the happy mix or something like that. The amaranth that was here last year self-seeded quite heavily. So you'll see both the red is the amaranth and the celosia rain, which I'm really excited about. So more status. The bunnies really do love, as well as a few other things, love the amaranth. These are the campanulas. They're the Canterbury bells, I believe. Some straw flowers mixed in with the celosia, and a couple snapdragons mixed in here. And these are the other celosia. I can't remember the color of these ones. I think they're almost like a goldish, pale gold maybe. Some dianthus. Looks very scraggly. Some of these celosia is actually doing all right. Just another snap hidden in here. And straw flower maybe there. These are the larkspurs here. They're starting to look really healthy. These are where the status was last year that I left in, that really liked it. You can see I do need to weed as well. Got snapdragons, and I had a new garden friend over yesterday. She's also a flower farmer, and we did some trading, and I bought some dahlias from her. But I'm pretty sure she's right on that these ones, though they were marked straw flowers, I think these are the sunballs, which I'm excited about. I thought I had lost that tray, so they are looking really healthy now finally, with some status mixed in over here. And I think this is another type of dianthus, but I can't even remember at this point. Some more status. And these are the poppies here that I transplanted, that I know you're not supposed to, but I did anyways. These are more of the celosia rains. And then here is my section of stock. Got multiple different colors. I've got a couple places with stock because it's I believe a Nebraska family, and the bunnies and things really like them. I've got some more dianthus, celosia. These are asters in the back here that aren't looking so great, so hopefully those will start picking up. And then we get into the lisianthus, which I'm not so sure how well these are doing. It's my first year growing them, but they're looking kind of pale. I'm gonna try to feed them, I think, tomorrow. So hopefully that'll help. Looks like a little rosetting maybe. But these are the plugs that I purchased through Ball Seeds, through my wholesale account. So some of them look a little better. So I'd still definitely need to get over here and weed. And I've got multiple colors, and you can see the amaranth, some of it did get eaten over here. Coming back over here, this section, this is the new bed. So last year, a lot of the zinnias were in this section here. Now I just moved them over. These are a whole mix of different colors. I tried to do mostly blocks, but I did have a few get eaten. Mostly these are the Binary Giants, but there are some Zowies in here, and there's one or two of the giant Dahlia ones. The pale yellow, I think, is what I got for that. And I've gone back through and filled in a few that got eaten. It looks like I need to do the same thing again, and that happens. But even if there's a break, having them at the 4-inch apart, they will fill up any space that I give them. Then I have some snapdragons here. These are actually doing pretty good considering. These were mostly transplanted out of the whiskey barrel. I need to transplant more. I've got a few extra stock that I stuck here on the end. And then I've got some open spaces here up to the sunflowers. And these are pro cuts here. Snapdragons that really want more water. Looks like a Lizzie got eaten and a little bit dug up over there. So that's unfortunate. That's why you plant more than you want. So I will try to put the sprinkler on over here. The amount of rain we've gotten isn't actually enough to really be sustainable for the gardens right now. And I don't have drip underneath these tarps. You can see the orangey color off the plastic. It is quite wild up over. It's not looking so pretty. Maybe it is looking pretty, but not healthy. So these gardens are definitely doing okay. I'm not unhappy with them. Oh, look at this. I got almost completely dug up. So pretty dry though, so I will definitely get that sprinkler turned on. There's, I think in the first 2 rows, there's like 400 and change holes. And this one, there's probably maybe 450, 475 or so, maybe more. Oh, probably more, because this is a 6 across here. So maybe closer to 500. So this is quite a bit of cut flowers here. And that comboed with my perennial garden where I have some annuals, comboed with the beds over in the raised beds, comboed with some of the sunflowers over in with the corn. I think it'll actually be pretty good here going into the fall. My goal is to really start picking up in early July, so we'll see how that goes. The Hoophouse will really help me though, so let me take you over there and see what we have going on. So from seedlings, we're pretty picked over at this point. I need to pot up some of these peppers and tomatoes, and we still have alyssum and kale and beets. So I'll still have a little bit at the farmer's market, but not as much as I've been able to bring. And I have a lot of cleanup to do. So I'll go through the birdie's bed in the next part here. So coming into the Hoophouse. So for those of you that don't know, my husband built this for me. This is our must be our third season. We've been at this property for 4 years, and there was no gardens when we moved in. So we've gone through a couple different iterations. We just took out a shelf that was here on the front. of the garden. So I think I'm going to put another bed in here to fill up more, to have more space inside the hoop. We are in north central Massachusetts and we're zone 5B. Our growing season's about 155 days, and we did put our 40% shade cloth on the beginning of May. So this has been on for about a month now. To give you an idea, we had our best solar generation month ever. So it was a crazy, crazy sunny, hot May. All of that being said, I am growing ranunculus, and ranunculus, this is my test bed right here. I picked this morning. I've been picking almost daily now. I just did a small little test in this front corner. They do not want to be over 70 degrees. So I have a thermometer down here at the bottom in the shade so I can tell how we're doing. I come in here, I water down the stones. When it's really hot, we open up both sides, keep the door open, and that has really helped. Thankfully, it's been mostly a dry heat. The other thing is the alyssum self-seeded in here. You can see, like, here's one that I lost due to the heat. And so I do need to come in here and water pretty good tonight. And hopefully I won't lose more. But the alyssum has been really great because with the shade cloth and the crowding of the ranunculus, I'm getting 20-inch, 15-inch easily stems of the alyssum, and that's been doing amazing in my bouquets. I also have feverfew here that I'm hoping once the ranunculus kind of go over. I thought the poppy would already be budded out and blooming, but it still hasn't. It looks like maybe it's about to start. That I would take the poppy out and the feverfew could take over where the ranunculus are and do really well. So we'll see how that goes. I've got some garlic here, leftovers. And this is got the scapes on it. So these should be ready in about a week or so. These ranunculus, they're just absolutely gorgeous. Over here I also have some sweet peas for flowers. The stalk is starting to come and bud, which I'm really excited about. The snapdragons are starting to show. So I cut some of the snaps, but not all of them. So I'll have some early blooms, and then I'll get I'll cut those really deep, and then I'll get the follow-on ones. The larkspur has budded here in the front. I've got feverfew, 2 or 3 different types of feverfew in the back. Singles, doubles, and green, I think. Got a lupin back there. So a little mixture of everything in here. Really tightly sown or not transplanted in on purpose to try to get really nice long stems on top of the shade cloth. Take advantage of my little 4x8 bed here and see how much I could really stuff in here to get some early blooms. I do need to put the netting up for the sweet peas, and I keep on untangling the sweet peas. You'll also notice these are onions that I planted in the fall that are actually starting to bulb, so that'll be really great. Over here I've got more Lizzies. These ones are much happier than the ones I have outside, most likely because of the controlled climate in here, whereas the ones outside have had 40 degrees back to back with 3 90-degree days back to back, and then we go back to two or three 40-degree days. So our weather's been really funky. I did stick one zinnia in here on this side, and I also have a eucalyptus or 2 over here. I've got more eucalyptus that needs to get transplanted, and I need to weed this area in the back here. My Lizzies that I started from seed are not doing that great still, so I'm really glad that I've ordered plugs. Let's just put it that way. A couple delphiniums that have extra plugs, peppers that need to be transplanted, uppotted. My fruit trees, my fig is now coming back to life, so that's really exciting. I've got my lemon is also. These are onions. They're actually true onions that I moved in here from late fall so that I would have some big onion flowers, some alliums, for cut flowers. I've already harvested one. You harvest them when they're about 3/4 open. So the casing here will start to open as these get bigger. The tomatoes in the back are really needing pruning. I don't typically let my tomatoes bush, and so they are supposed to be hung on these strings on the cables that Jay set up last year and pruned to a single stem. So I am behind as usual. These Lizzies are ones that I swapped actually for. There's some really fun colors in here that I'm really excited about. And so I did get the pale apricot. I've got the light pinks, light yellows, and a cream to blush in here. These were from Honeyfield's farm up in Norwich, Vermont, actually my hometown. And they purchased the property and the house and the farm from the farmers actually that I grew up working for, from age 14 to 19. And so it's been kind of fun connecting with them. These are peppers that need to get put into grow bags here. Those are the grow bags. I've got some stock and some more Lizzies and a couple eucalyptus over here, cucumbers in the back there, some carrots that are ready to be picked. Those are my bunching onions. Garlic up here in the front, some more of these alliums or onions for just for flowers. So got a few more perennials that I need to plant out as well. And over here I've got a hosta I need to plant out. Here's my improved Meyer lemon that is just starting to have some new growth, so let's try to not kill that. Decorative mullein from my friend from Rosehawk Farms. Snapdragons that need to get planted out, and a bunch of basil that really needs some help. So I think that covers everything. But the ranunculus will probably, hopefully have another week and a half, 2 weeks of blooming, which will be really great. And definitely a great test and learning year for these. I am planning to do a lot more of them next season. So still need to turn over some of these beds. The garlic will get pulled here pretty quick. Onions will get pulled pretty quick. Tomatoes will get hung up, and cucumbers will get hung up, and the broccoli here also, I may end up just pulling that sooner than later. I just harvested a bunch off of that. But hoping that the snapdragons, the larkspurs, and the stalk will come in right as the ranunculus are ending, so that gives me that in-between color for a good few weeks while the other gardens are catching up. That's the goal anyways. I do have the gardens by the house too, with a few things that might help me, as well as a wildflower bed over in the corner of the birdie's bed garden. So I'll show that in the next one. But hopefully, I covered everything at this point, and this is again first week of June, end of first week of June, and we've got ranunculus going, alyssum going, and lots of things about to come. Snap, stalk, and larkspur here inside the greenhouse on top of the alliums. Thanks for watching part 2 of our garden tour this week. I will be going over the entire veggie garden space in the birdie's beds, which also does have some flowers, next.